Hey, you guys. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. Well, y'all, there's been so much going on in the land of Gypsy Rose Blanchard with all of these videos coming out through the FOIA request that was sent in by Into the Weeds podcast. They have literally gotten a trove of evidence from Claudine Blanchard's unaliving case, right? Gypsy never stood trial. Gypsy accepted a plea deal. Nicholas Godejohn did not accept a plea deal. He went through trial and he was found guilty and he is serving a life sentence. Whereas Gypsy, she served about 8 years and she got out of prison. She is living her life. She has literally become, I mean, we may want to call her infamous, but when you really look at it, she's considered an influencer, a celebrity, like, which is kind of wild considering everything we're watching in these videos. If you are not watching the videos, go to Into the Weeds podcast on YouTube. I try to cover the ones that are like really interesting, but I haven't even gotten to finish their latest video, so I'm behind on that. But last night, Perez Hilton went live and he was joined by several people. Bree, Gypsy's friend. Bree, of course, defended Gypsy to the fullest. After Bree went off panel, though, a girl named Aubrey, I'm going to finish this. I'm going to tell you guys what just happened. A girl named Aubrey joined his panel and completely debunked everything that Bree said, which I thought was hilarious. I loved it. I was living for it. After that, though, I went in the house and then I go to get in the shower and Perez Hilton is live with Ryan Anderson, Gypsy's ex-husband. And I'm like, so I'm literally screen recording on both phones because one phone doesn't always capture everything. So I literally screen record their interview, I guess you could call it, Ryan on this live with Perez Hilton. We're going to watch it. I'm going to do a live reaction because I was literally, I wish Perez would like pull other people up with Ryan or even with Bree. Like when Bree was up, I would have loved if they would have pulled Aubrey up because Aubrey knew, like, she could debunk everything that Aubrey literally debunked everything that Bree said. So anyways, we're going to get into it. But before I do, you guys, y'all know how I told you I think my office and my house is haunted. Tell me why I was just sitting. My coffee is literally sitting right here. I know it looks gross, but that's honey. I mean, not honey. That's caramel all on the sides. And I had foam. But literally my coffee was sitting right here. And as I was talking, my straw did this. It went all the way around. I'm literally talking and my straw goes all the way around. I did not, I mean, unless my breath blew it all the way around, but I don't know how that would have been possible. I'm telling you guys, my office is haunted. This is going to be somewhat of a long one because I did manage to get like 35 minutes or so of the live. So we're going to jump right into it. Also, if you don't want to hear my commentary, they're up on my page just as videos. I love giving commentary to stuff like this. I have so many opinions, so I'm going to give them, okay? But if you don't want to hear my opinions and you just want to hear the videos are up on my page. All right, let's jump into it. And like I said, whenever I saw them, they were already live, so I did not catch them from the beginning, but this is what I got, and I'm going to respond.
TV, I'd have said, perfect. Let's not. You know, if she'd have got out and said, I want to move here, I said, let's do it. Anything for you.
Candy, I'm so glad you brought that up because the other day in a chat with some of my mods, I was sending an audio from one of my phones and my other phone literally took a breath and my mods heard it. It was the weirdest thing. All right, let's continue.
You know, like my intentions were pure. And so I don't have any regret because I was there. I was genuine. I cared. And so it's hard to live in regret.
Everything happens for a reason. And
I agree.
How do I say this delicately? Her life still, like in 2025, is pretty drama filled. And you should probably be grateful that you don't have all that toxicity in your life, you know, like every day having to deal with it.
People tell me that. People tell me, dude, you dodged a bullet. And I'm like, okay, like time will tell, you know what I mean? As far as like what happens, you know, for a while, I didn't think I dodged anything, you know, like for a while I missed her, you know, it's one of those, like, I actually cared.
Well, I'm going to stop asking you questions because this was just a chat, but I appreciate your honesty. You're always very candid you want to ask me anything, Ryan?
Man,
Playing on iPhone? Now you can play Unlocked on PC with Google Play Games.
Because they love to put it in.
man, what did you think of talking with her yahoos, like her public mouthpieces? Because people told me you talked to them, and I'm like, why in the I would never get on.
I really do believe in being fair, and I want it, and she doesn't want to talk. So, all right, let me talk to her alleged people that are like actual friends in the real world, they claim. So, and then I kind of got it. Like, this is how she operates. Like, this is who she has. She's in the lives. She's gifting them. She's probably texting them and communicating.
When Brie was on live with Perez, Gypsy was in the live sending gifts. And I'm sure she was probably texting her behind the scenes, like, say this, say that. Also, I just ate chicken and corn, so I'm going to kind of move my face and floss really quickly.
With my guests.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, I'm not going to get to chat with her. Not an interview. It's like, if I was going to interview you, if I was going to interview her, I'd be like thoroughly researched. I would have my questions done ahead of time. I would like.
You would be building on questions, like you're just free balling and all over.
Yeah, I'm just having a conversation. So it's like
that's why I like talking to you, man. I feel like we're having a conversation.
Yeah, so it's like I'm not going to have a conversation with her, so I do want to hear both sides. Like I want to. And what was interesting was tonight when her friend Brie gave me information, I finished with her, and then what's her name? What's her name, y'all? Does anybody remember? Audrey? Oh, sorry.
You said Brie, it made me throw up. Sorry.
Audrey gave.
What's so funny is Ryan hates Brie, right? He cannot stand Brie. But like Ryan defends Gypsy the same way Brie does. Maybe not as like hardcore. He doesn't go on people's panels to do it. But when people brings Gypsy up, I feel like he has the same opinion that Brie does.
Gave me a lot of receipts and like information. Like, you may not want to hear this because you believe things, but listen, I'm like open. So that friend of hers claimed or brought up the which I didn't freaking know, that she had a feeding tube, and I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Like, I don't think
her mom she did go through some shit. Like, I believe that. Like,
so yeah, and I was like, that's abuse, right? But then this Audrey woman said, well, look at this. Apparently, this woman named Fancy got really close to Gypsy and somehow got access to all of her medical records and everything. And
okay, so really quickly, Ryan's going to say, and she refuses to give them back. Fancy refuses to give Gypsy her medical records back. That's because, from my understanding, when Gypsy was in prison, Gypsy and Christy become really close with Fancy. I'm not saying Fancy, I don't watch Fancy. Fancy doesn't tickle my fancy. I don't like the way Fancy goes about things. But Fancy and Gypsy and Christy become close, and they either gave the files to Fancy or sold the files to Fancy. Either way, Fancy did not steal them, and for him to be like, and now she won't give them back. Well, they were given to her, so I mean, they were given to her. So also, Perez is pretty new to like really figuring out this case. So he didn't know that Gypsy had a feeding tube, and he says, so that's abuse, right? But I've been like watching more into the weeds, and I watch Becca Scoop stuff. And so here's my understanding of it now that actually is a new understanding. I did not know this. So with microdeletion, Gypsy had all these symptoms that nobody knew what was causing it. Failure to thrive was one of those. Like, she had failure to thrive. She was not growing. She was eating, but not getting enough nutrition for her to gain the amount of weight she should be gaining for her age, right? So before Gypsy got the feeding tube, and this was one of the things that I was kind of like, yeah, your mom forced you to get a feeding tube. That's weird. That's abuse, just like he just said. But Aubrey literally showed the paperwork from the doctor, who literally said, like, Gypsy is a 9-year-old. She has been my patient since 2000. Her mother has complained of this. Gypsy was in a hospital for months, okay? Them doing tests on her to see, like, feeding her through a tube this way, like, and she wasn't growing. So And Ryan's going to say, like, because he says, like, Aubrey had the documents from the doctor showing, like, she needed the feeding tube, like, and Ryan's like, of course a doctor said it, but he said it because he was listening to her mom. That's not how this works. It never made sense to me, like, oh, well, her mom just went to the doctor's office and said she needs a feeding tube, and they're like, okay, and did it. No, they what's also crazy is before Ryan came up, Bree was on there, and Bree literally said her mom forced her to get a feeding tube. There's this test that you're supposed to have done, and she named the test. And she said, before anybody gets a feeding tube, they're supposed to do this test. They did not do it with Gypsy. That's exactly what Bree said. I wished I would have recorded Bree's side, but I was on a live. Bree said that they did not do the test. The paperwork that Aubrey shows that they absolutely did the test on Gypsy. Not only did they do that test on Gypsy, but they observed her for months. For months. She was in the hospital for like 6 months before they did this feeding tube. And I don't have where Aubrey showed that, but I do have where Aubrey showed where Gypsy shot Dee Dee with the pellet gun. And we'll look at that in a little bit. I wish I would have had all of it though, because it was so, like, I was like, she was in the hospital for 6 months being observed. And that it was only after then that they were feeding her. They were, feeding her through the tube. Like, they were doing everything they could. And literally, it was after 6 months, they finally said, she is not getting the nutrition that she needs. We're going to have to do the feeding tube. But listen to Ryan explain this. And what he says don't even make sense.
He wouldn't give them back. So, let's be honest. But okay.
According to the screenshot I saw of like a letter from a doctor.
1980 Millennial commentates.
It was medically.
And 1980 Millennial commentates. Please chime in because you are well more versed in this than I am. And a lot of the information that I got is coming from y'all. So if you have anything that you can chime in and say, please, by all means, do so.
Necessitated, allegedly, that she get the feeding tube.
Of course it was by medical document because the doctor had to legitimize it. You see what I'm saying? Like,
doctors do not just legitimize stuff. Doctors do not just, I'm not going to go to the doctor and say, my child is blind. And they're going to be like, well, let me write that in the record so your insurance will pay for glasses. They're going to test his eyes. That's what they're going to do. And it's only after that test that they're going to say, okay, actually, he does need glasses.
Well,
of course.
1980, yes. I saw where he mentioned, like, going live with you. So when that happens, I hope I don't miss it.
It was.
With the doctor in on it with her mother?
Of course the hospital had paperwork that said it was legitimate. They had to do the procedure. They had to get insurance to do it. But they were listening to her mama's words and said, oh, well, it's got to be legitimate. You see what I'm saying? A hospital's not going to do it just because the mama says, but if they have enough evidence to back it up through the mama's word of mouth, right? The hospital has to justify it by insurance. So, of course, you can have a piece of paper that says,
most doctors don't do that. Most doctors don't just say, okay, okay, mom wants this done, so I'm going to do it. Now let me commit fraud. I'm not going to run the test. And instead, I'm just going to take this woman's advice, who's not a doctor, and I'm just going to fill out this form. I think I missed where he said something that contradicted himself, but I think I missed it.
Yes, it was justified. Well, of course it was. The hospital did it. You see what I'm saying? Like, the hospital had to do it, so they had to make it justifiable.
They did not
but
have
in reality, it probably wasn't really needed. But the mother made it needed. You see what I'm saying? Does that make any sense?
No, yeah. I'm just thinking out loud.
Poor Perez, I don't think he's really catching on. But she was in the hospital for 6 months. Am I right in that? 1980? The paperwork that Aubrey showed that she read, I'm pretty sure it said that she was in the hospital for like 6 months. They did all kind of testing. The doctor had her for years. She was 9 years old at the time. I missed where he said something that I was like, that is literally, that don't even make sense. But once again, something has popped up on my computer where I can't go backwards. So
like
because here's the thing, a hospital can't
just thinking out loud in my brain.
Yeah, and pay insurance and like get insurance to pay for it. The hospital has to legitimize it. You know what I mean? So like, just because that piece of paper said it was medically necessitated, well, of course it was. It got done. Like, doesn't mean that the doctor made the right decision.
Okay, Angela says 1 month feeding hospital. Okay, so there is a discrepancy between how long she was in there. Janie says it says 6 months on the papers. I'm gonna have to try to figure out. I thought I was actually screen recording. I did get a piece of Aubrey's when she was on with Perez, but I didn't get that part. I worked in the medical field for years. A whole team would decide to do a surgery in a hospital setting, being around 10 medical staff. He said the doctors couldn't do it based on the mom's comments, but then said they did it because, okay, that's what he said that I caught. That he's like, they're not going to just do it because the mom said so. But then but they legitimized it because that's what the mom told them to do, or something along those lines. So he literally contradicted herself to say they're not going to do it because the mom said so, but then they did it because the mom said so. I did not know this about the feeding tube. That was one thing that I was like, wow, that's crazy that she got her kid a feeding tube and when it wasn't needed. And some people would say now, and Bree said this, she don't have a feeding tube anymore. She don't have a feeding tube anymore. Well, a lot of kids that like have failure to thrive will outgrow it. By the time they're 16, 17, they no longer they will eat correctly. Their body's receiving the nutrition it's supposed to. So like I have a nephew, like right now, they just went to like Houston to have him tested for failure to thrive because he's so little. Okay. He's not growing. Like he's just so little. I think I told you guys about it the other day. He was playing T-ball and his coach kept he played second base. When they would go in to the dugout, his coach would pick him up and tote him in. And his grandma was like, maybe his coach shouldn't pick him up and tote him in because he's already like smaller than everybody else. And her like picking him up like he's a baby, toting him in, it might make him feel some type of way. So the parents was like, hey, we know you're trying to help, but just treat him like all the other kids because he's just so tiny. So failure to thrive, like it doesn't mean because they have it as a toddler or a 6 months old or an 8 month old, it doesn't mean that they're going to have it all their life. So I think that was something else that Bree said. Well, why doesn't she need it now? Because she outgrew it?
Does that make sense?
It does. I don't know what to believe now. Like,
and that's the thing is like, I don't believe any of that stuff. Like before all of that, like it's hard to look at a medical record and be like, oh, that legit, because her mama lied so much. They lied so much that what's there to believe?
I'm glad he fixed that. He said her mama lied so much. They lied so much. Yeah, because Gypsy was in on this.
Because I think that's actually, very powerful testimony that you had this unpleasant split from her, and yet you still believe what you believe,
Y'all, I promise.
It got stuck in the branch that was growing on, and then it also.
Man, denial's a hard thing. Like denial's very powerful, right? All right. My whole belief in the situation was one way. If I all of a sudden look back at it and say, well, our relationship wasn't real, then it makes that a complete waste of my time and life. You know what I mean? Like it makes everything I did worthless. And I don't want to believe that. You know what I mean? Like I want to believe that we had some.
He doesn't want to believe that Gypsy's a psycho who would use him. He wants to believe that what they had was real.
Something real, and we had it, and we did, but it ended like it wasn't. You know what I mean? Like it ended
so quick.
It ended like, there's so much into that though. Like there's so much into that, and people say I defend her and all this, but I'm not. I just don't.
You literally just were defending her, and in more of this video, he does absolutely defend her.
Don't bash her. You know what I mean? Like
very gentlemanly. I respect that.
And that's when people say I defend her, I'm just not bashing her. It's not my place to bash. Like I have every right to. Honestly, Perez, I have every freaking right to. Like I could come out guns blazing
with me,
be like bow, 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 bow. And like people are writing in my chat, willful ignorance. I'm not willfully ignorant. Like she was abused. Now these tapes that come out, they're crazy. Like they're freaking batshit crazy. But
and you never saw that side of her?
No, I didn't know Demona. I didn't wear wigs. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
He said he didn't wear wigs.
that was not my relationship. Like that's the shit I'm looking at. I'm like, God, no wonder it was crazy.
What's interesting is Gypsy has regressed back to kind of that lifestyle, wearing wigs, like dressing, not because it's who she is, but dressing. Like, you guys even know, not long after she got out of prison and she was going to meet her sister Mia, and she literally told Ryan, I'm wearing this because I know Mia's going to wear that. So dressing away, not because she wants to dress that way, but for someone else's expectations. The wig thing, like, to me, she's like already regressed back into like some of that old behavior.
Look who it was with. Like, that's the thing is, like, I see those videos and I'm like, oh my God, like crazy. But like, that wasn't my relationship.
But that's who she is.
So
Think if it was, maybe you'd still be together.
maybe.
I was
maybe
like,
if I was
what?
more kinky. Maybe.
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
When he said that, when he was like, do you think if it was, maybe you guys would still be together? I was like, wait, what? That's weird to say that. That's not okay to say that.
I thought of that. I've thought of that. Maybe if I was more of a freak and cray, then yeah, maybe. But dude, there was a lot. Her family didn't want me with her.
Why?
Her family, Christy did not want me with her. Period. So she got rid of me. In the grand scheme of things, when I became her husband, boom, I trumped stepmom.
But she's.
Think
Does
about
she
it.
have a good relationship with Ken?
I mean, Christy obviously did. Christy pushed that relationship. Like, Christy would tell her, I wish Ken was my son-in-law, not Ryan. And I'd be at work. You know what I mean? Say shit like that. Like, kept pushing that on Gypsy. And like, that's the thing. What she used me for?
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she might have used me like.
Don't be so naive.
You know,
she used you for someone to talk to. I mean, maybe you didn't put a lot of money on her books, but you did put money on her books. You went and seen her. So for an emotional connection, for someone to make her feel loved. That's what she used you for, because narcissists need that. They need somebody to feed their ego.
I have moments where I think, okay, maybe I just was a jail husband. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it looked like it from the outside, but I try not to believe that. Like, that would.
You really had pure intentions.
Right. Like, I try not to believe that, but there are moments where I'm like, damn, maybe that's the truth.
How long did you correspond? You went out and visited her, right?
I visited her a year before we talked for a year. Let's see, a year and 2 months before we even met because of COVID. And then after the day I met her, that's when she committed to me. That's when she said, because.
What do you mean? Was she talking to other guys?
Possibly. She was just talking, like, we never were like, we're official. You know what I mean? We didn't become official boyfriend and girlfriend until we met. So, people throw these emails. Look, she sent Ryan an email, but then sent this guy an email. Well, of course, we weren't official yet.
They're just making excuses. I don't know, if I was talking to somebody in jail and had an emotional connection to them, and I thought I was the only one that they were speaking to, and then I found out years later that I was not the only one they were speaking to, I would feel betrayed. I would not make excuses like, well, we weren't official, so who cares? No, it would be like, dude, wow, yes, she is manipulative, because the whole time she made me feel like me and her were like a thing. She could have told me that. Like, she could have told me. Also, listen, I just have a feeling the people that wrote Gypsy, the people that she responded back to, were probably the type of people that when she wrote back to them, their next letter was, oh my God, I can't believe you responded to me. Phone calls. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm talking to Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Those are probably the people that she clinged to because they made her feel like she was someone special. Like, oh my God, like some sort of celebrity almost. And this is me just like having a theory, but I can almost hear Ryan, like the first time they get on a phone call, him being like, I can't believe I'm talking to Gypsy Rose Blanchard. And Gypsy just eating it up.
Like, I couldn't stop her from doing other things. You know what I mean? Like, I can't stop her from doing something. But man, there's so much more to this than people realize. Like, I'm gonna stop it there because I can talk and just
in the
feel
future,
like I'm just throwing information out.
in the future, if you ever wanted to like write a memoir, your autobiography, and talking about that time, could you?
Not that free, my
Oh yeah, I could.
Okay, all right.
Listen,
I have my memory's good.
I should know if you had an agreement that you wouldn't be able to do that.
Oh no, I never signed nothing like that. I have no NDA, nothing. Like they can't stop me from talking about it if they wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I would talk about my life, my experience. I wouldn't be bad mouth, but I mean, I lived it. I was with her 5 years. Like, you know, that's the thing. And I love people in the chat telling me to wake up and see this. Like, these videos are hard to watch. They're hard to watch. Like, you know what I'm saying? But
I loved it. I love them all. I'm like, this is crazy. I mean,
I'm not saying I love them, but I do love they're coming out, and I think they should be out.
Well, of course, you're an outsider looking in. Of course.
The real disturbing was. There was like a couple of creepy ones from that Nick guy. Like those were. Have you seen any of those?
Dude, that dude. Like, imagine you're the district attorney, right? And you see this, and you have to prosecute people. So you see all these videos, and see the ones from Nick, right? There's a reason Nick got life.
Yes, because he took it to trial. This is what I'm like. You married this girl without investigating what actually happened. Like, you literally married this woman, then went and picked her up from prison, brought her to your home, to your mother's home, introduced her to your nephew, when you didn't even really like dig into the case to really try to figure out, is she innocent? Is she guilty? If you would have done that, you would have known he took it to trial. He was offered a plea deal just like your girl Gypsy was. He could have taken one. I don't know what he was offered in his plea deal, but he was offered a plea deal. He did not take it. And I feel like, as someone who has gotten arrested, who was completely innocent, I remember I was talking to my brother one day, and he said they're going to try to offer you a plea deal before the evidence comes back, before the results to the evidence comes back, right? And he said that's what they're going to do. They're going to try to get you on like probation. You've been in no trouble before. They're going to try to get you for probation to pay fines, right? I said, I will not take a plea deal. And my brother said, no, do not take a plea deal. I said, I will never take a plea deal. If I have to take this to trial, I will take this to trial because I was innocent. I think Nicholas really thought he could beat it because I think Nicholas really thought, well, Gypsy's mom, A.B. USCD her. She asked me to do it. I was saving her. Like, I really think he thought he did something noble, and he thought like he would be able to prove that in trial, and people would have sympathy for that, and maybe even look at him like the hero, and he would get off with it, right?
It doesn't feel fair that he doesn't even have the possibility of parole, though.
I get it, but man, it's every time I talk about Nick, I get attacked. Well, every time I talk about Nick, and I wasn't there, I didn't live it, but you know, I don't want to say nothing that offends people because I know I do. Like, because it doesn't matter what I say, I'm going to get attacked. But me looking in on that situation, the dude had Wisconsin to Missouri to not do it. You know what I mean? Like, he came multiple states down knowing what he was going to do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
wait a minute, millennial. Hold up now. Like I said, I don't know everything about this case. Ryan role played with Gypsy in their emails calling his nephew our son. I'm going to wait for your answer for that one because I'm trying to figure out if that's what you're saying. That Ryan role played with her. That's who you have to be talking about. Because Nicholas never mentioned a nephew. that I know about. And they sent videos and text messages. I don't know if they sent email. Yes, Ryan was a special education teacher, which also makes me feel like as someone, yes. Okay, as someone that works with, you are a teacher for special education and you have no empathy for these kids. You have kids that have a low IQ. You do not look at them and want to be more protective over them. All these documentaries, and why are these videos not included? These people are literally trying to protect Gypsy. She should still be locked up, in my opinion. I agree. I agree. I think she should still be locked up. Okay, so somebody needs to call Ryan out. Somebody needs to call Ryan out with the role playing their son with his nephew. That's not normal behavior either.
It was premeditated, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't abused. He didn't have to kill her.
Okay, Ryan just said that Nicholas wasn't abused, but in one of the videos, Nicholas says something to Gypsy along the lines of, you know everything that I've been through. You know all that I've went through and how difficult that was for me. So I don't know what he's saying, but he does say that Gypsy knew about it. That Gypsy knew about all the everything that he had been through, and it seemed like he was saying he had been through something traumatic or had a hard life or something like that. Ryan doesn't know anything about Nick's past, so that's what I'm saying. Like, how can you say he wasn't abused? Like, how do you know that? You didn't even search into the case enough to know that Nicholas was offered a plea deal, but took it to trial to try to fight it. Like, what? Don't talk about Nicholas, dude. Don't talk about Nicholas.
Her? Yeah, she might have asked him, but he could have said, "No, I'm not doing that." I mean, if I was talking to her at that time, if I was talking to her at that time and she asked me to kill her mother, I'd say, "Sorry, girl, gotta go." Click.
Didn't he tell her, let's just run away somewhere?
Dude,
yes, he did.
I'm not going to speculate on that.
I thought that
wasn't that in the evidence. Wasn't that solid proof? Wasn't there solid proof that there was times that Nicholas said, like, why don't I just show up and we run away together? Is that, did I make that up?
That's what somebody said. I don't know.
He might have, but she ran away once before and her mama called her the next day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't there.
It was allegedly 4 hours.
Man. So I don't want to speculate on it. But as a district attorney, they had all this evidence too. You know what I'm saying? They had it all. And they made their mind up to give him life without and gave.
They did not. They did offer him a plea deal. But somebody that feels innocent doesn't want to take a plea deal. Somebody that feels like they had a purpose for doing something that they did, they're not going to take a plea deal. They're going to try to plead their case. I don't know. I think anybody with a brain would get that, would be able to comprehend that.
For 10 years. So if people are mad, they need to be mad at the justice system if they got it wrong.
We are.
So it's not on me to attack me. It's not on my opinion of this or
okay.
that. Look, somebody's saying I'm being really pathetic. Okay.
Yes, subscriptions help, likes help, come back and hype your girl up. That helps. You do not have to, anybody. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
But I mean, there's a reason that the district attorney gave him life without. There has to be.
Apparently he didn't.
And that's what they was going to give Gypsy if she would have taken the plea.
He got offered 2 plea deals, allegedly, according to that person you don't like.
Then why didn't he take him?
I don't know.
You see what I'm saying? That he was manipulated too, probably, but so was she. You're telling me she did those videos, sick videos, because she wanted to? Some of them are she's doing them because he asked.
How do you?
Some of them, he had to be. He had to be. Calling him a vampire.
Why can't it be the other way around? Why can't it be that she asked him? Where's the evidence that he asked her to do it and not that she asked him to do it? I mean, I do know in some of the videos, she said, she would have a paper beside her and be like, okay, you want me to talk about these things today? But she would announce that, you want me to talk about this today. And then she would turn back around and she would talk about X, Y, and Z. Where is the proof that he was forcing her to call him a vampire.
Vampire and shit. Come on. Come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. I don't know, though. I don't know. I'm just speculating, but I'm just saying.
We get out of Nick. I mean, I don't. You don't know. But I mean, she could have said no. You know, like I'm not gonna. You know.
I mean, but dude, with her life experience, she didn't. You know, like she thought he was the end all be all. I don't know, dude. I wasn't there.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like we can sit here and go talk red in the face and figure and like try to speculate this. If I say one thing, I'm going to get attacked by this side. If I say another, I'm going to get attacked from this side. All I can do is talk about what I believed in and what I thought.
Yeah.
But you're not educated. Even though you married this woman, you still don't know even slightly the ins and out of what took place.
Respect that.
You know, and like, see, people are.
And if you do that, you're not going to be caught in any lies because you're just being honest.
Well, I mean, like, I love people think I don't hold Gypsy accountable. She friggin' went to jail. Like, she got charged with second-degree murder. Like, what do you mean I'm not holding her accountable? Like, what am I supposed to do? Whip her? Be like, shame on you. Like, she did her time. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, people are saying I'm not holding her accountable. She did the crime. She admitted to it. She went to jail.
It's interesting because I think on another level, listen, some of the Gypsy people might be upset. I mean, the anti-Gypsy people, but they can acknowledge it too. It's the whole Gypsy thing in a way reminds me of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. It's just entertainment for people.
And I get that. But that was my life too. You know what I mean? Like, yes, it's entertainment for people. I get it. It's entertaining. Like, it's a story. It's a crazy story that happened. It really happened. And I get it, but I lived it.
They want to, I get you all in the comments. They want.
You didn't live that part of it, Ryan. You didn't live that part of it. You lived after that.
Want to expose the truth as they see it, but it's also entertainment too. It's both. And both can be true at the same time.
Exactly. And like, that's the thing is like, I don't know. All I can do is live.
I'm gonna say it right now.
Guys,
Draco slide.
Do y'all ever buy something and then you see it in every ad? Well, I bought these slides for my son because he asked for these for Christmas. He doesn't watch me, so it's fine. But I bought these, and ever since I bought these daggum slides, I see them in every single ad.
Have the best slides in the game as of today. Like they
is be me. It's all I can do, man. And
well,
I love people. You didn't live it too. Well, I'm not talking about that shit. I'm not I don't get on live and talk about the crime and things. Have you ever noticed that I don't do that? Because I didn't live that. That's not my life. So people are in my chat are saying, well, you didn't live it. No shit, I didn't. I'm talking about my relationship with her. I lived that. I don't ever get on live and say, let's talk about the crime. I never do that. That's not my life.
No, I've seen you do the opposite. Like, oh, I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about that.
Right. Like, I'm just being, I can talk about my relationship with her and my experiences, and that's all I know how to speak on. So I have speculation just like everybody else. You know, I can speculate all day long. I don't know truths. I wasn't there.
It was good to see you, Ryan.
That's right.
Well, maybe I'll see you again soon.
You got a lot out of me tonight. You know that, right? I done spilled some shit tonight, but I didn't really.
Okay. Is anybody that's done deeper dive 1980 millennial, if you're in here, can we verify the Aurora name? Because I've heard Aurora was a name that her and Nick was going to use, and then I heard that it was not. And then somebody showed, Bree showed a letter where Gypsy was talking about what they were going to name the baby, and the baby was going to like Nicholas Paul go to John Jr. I think that's his name. They were going to name him like Jr. And then the other name was something different. It was not Aurora. But then somebody in the comments said, that's not even a letter between Gypsy and Nick. That's a letter Gypsy wrote her neighbor. And it said that there were many names. Okay. No, her and Nick planned to name. Okay. Okay, that's the name that I saw too. Someone said though in the comments, they said, that's a letter Gypsy wrote to her neighbor, not Nicholas. And there were more, they discussed more names. So I don't know. Either way, yeah, really to me, it's like the name doesn't matter. At the end of the day, she offered up her daughter. She literally said, when our daughter, when we have a daughter, you will take her virginity. I'll explain that to her, not at age 7, more like age 13. I will let her know that that's going to happen. Would it be a little bit more insane and like disgusting if she would have said, our daughter Aurora, and then went on to name her daughter Aurora? For sure. But bottom line, what she said, what we know she said was what we can verify has been said is disgusting anyways, without a name involved. All right, let's continue.
Spill that much.
Well, I hope you feel better. I hope that like you felt like you got something off your chest,
Yeah. I mean, I guess people are gonna attack me now. It's fine, whatever. I've been hated on. I've been have people tell me I'm gonna get friggin' canceled and I'm gonna get all like people have tried to attack me before. Look, guys, I wasn't there. I don't know the real ins and outs of their relationship or nothing. I just see what I've seen on the tapes, and they're crazy. I mean, they're crazy. But
I told Ryan in the comment section, listen, I was like, Ryan, you should literally go live and watch the videotapes, like any that you haven't watched. This is my listen. If I was Ryan, he watches them anyways. He's literally trying to make a living off social media. I mean, he doesn't have a job. He's literally trying to make a living off social media. If he really wants to do that, it would be very, I don't know. I think if he were to go live and watch any new videos from this point going forward that come out live and react to it live, that's what I want to see him do. I want to watch him watch the videos for the first time and see a live reaction from this man. And I guarantee you people would be watching because people want to know what he has to say, just like people want to know what Ken had to say.
I didn't know that girl. And I've said that 1,000 times. I didn't know that part of her. I never met that personality. Does that make sense?
The D was still fire.
You goddamn right it was.
All right. You have a good night.
Hey, good luck in your procedure tomorrow, man. For real.
Thank you. All right. We'll talk soon.
Talking to you, buddy.
Bye.
Bye, buddy.
I like him.
Just a few more minutes of what he has to say. We're going to listen to it. Then we're going to flip to another part of the video that some of it's redundant. I'll fast forward through that. But the next video, we're going to show a little bit more and then Ryan getting off on what he had to say.
That's the thing, right? Like, I don't know. Am I gullible? I really believe him. I believe him. I feel like maybe he still does love her, but I love that he still loves her. Like, he seems like a nice guy. I'm trying to think, like, I don't think he was lying about stuff, like, and he's got a bit of a sense of, not even a bit, he's got a sense of humor. You're right, he might be too nice. Wait, let me make sure I'm following everybody that I'm supposed to. I follow anybody that sends 1,000 or more. Christine, abused. He really believes she was abused.
Right. Yeah.
So what do I believe? Thank you, Erin. I honestly don't know what to believe. I do believe she should have left. Hello. I think everybody could freaking agree on that.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank y'all. And he probably doesn't want to. I think he still loves her. Just by the way he talks about her. Bless. I don't know. I like him. I'm rooting for him. I want him to have a happy ending. Am I totally getting him wrong? Thank you, Aqua. What is it about the prison emails or messages?
That's what I
What
need.
were people commenting?
1980 millennial. Okay. You read them on your YouTube page. Is that correct? If so, I need to go watch that.
What is it about the prison emails or messages that went on there? Why do I have to read them? What's in them? Thank you, Aqua. Wait, she told him she didn't love him? Wait, what?
He's like, what?
I don't have too much more time. Gypsy told him that she was not attracted to him? What? Okay, I've got to get more info. Hopefully I'll go on tomorrow. I can't promise it because I don't know how I'm gonna feel after my procedure, but were they emails or letters?
Emails.
Emails? Okay. I'll get more info on that tomorrow. And thank you all.
And do agree with
oh
that,
my God, thank
Shannon.
you all. Thank you, Aquavamp. I just followed you. Appreciate the support. All right. Have a good night, everybody. Talk soon. Bye.
Let's get off there, girl. All right, now let's go to the other one. And like I said, some of it's redundant because I was like recording on multiple devices. I had some pieces sent to me. I was trying to put it all together this morning. So anything that does, like if I realize like, wait, we already watched this, I'll fast forward. But at the end of this, we get to see Ryan when him and Perez get off the live and what he has to say.
Sent this guy an email. Well, of course, we weren't official yet.
Okay, so this is people in the chat asking Ryan about the emails that came out, proving that Gypsy was talking to not only Ryan, but other men as well. And, you know, like I like Perez now, but Perez was horrible back in the day. The way that he like reported on people, the way that he talked about people's looks, the fat shaming, he outed like people, like he outed Lance Bass. I'm pretty sure it's Lance Bass that he outed as being gay. So I did not like Perez, but watching him now, I'm like, he's all right.
Like I couldn't stop her from doing other things. You know what I mean? Like I can't stop her from doing something. But man, there's so much more to this than people realize. Like I'm going to stop it there because I can talk and just
in the future,
feel like I'm just throwing information out.
In the future, if you ever wanted to like write a memoir, your autobiography, and talking about that time, could you?
Oh yeah, I could.
Okay, all right.
I could. I have. My memory's good.
I should know if you had an agreement that you wouldn't be able to do that.
Oh no, I never signed nothing like that. I have no NDA, nothing. Like they can't stop me from talking about it if they wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I would talk about my life, my experience. I wouldn't be bad mouth, but I mean, I lived it. I was with her 5 years. Like, you know, that's the thing. And I love people in the chat telling me to wake up and see this. Like, these videos are hard to watch. They're hard to watch. Like, you know what I'm saying? But
I loved it. I love them all. I'm like, this is crazy. I mean,
well, of
honestly,
course, you're an outsider looking in. Of course.
The real disturbing was there was like a couple of creepy ones from that Nick guy. Like those were. Have you seen any of those?
Dude, that dude, like, all right.
Okay, yeah, this is ridiculous.
Imagine you're the district attorney, right? And you see her that I've seen on the tapes, and they're crazy. I mean, some shit tonight, but I didn't really spill that much.
Well, I hope you feel better. I hope that like you felt like you got something off your chest, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I guess people are gonna attack me now. It's fine, whatever. I've been hated on. I've been have people tell me I'm gonna get friggin' canceled and I'm gonna get all like people have tried to attack me before. Look, guys, I wasn't there. I don't know the real ins and outs of their relationship or nothing. I just see what I've seen on the tapes, and they're crazy. I mean, they're crazy. But I didn't know that girl. And I've said that 1,000 times. I didn't know that part of her. I never met that personality. Does that make sense?
The D was still fire.
You goddamn right it was.
All right. You have a good night.
Hey, good luck in your procedure tomorrow, man. For real.
Thank you. All right. We'll talk soon.
Talking to you, buddy.
Bye.
Bye, buddy. All right. Wow. Holy shit. Pixie, I'm too trusting. I'm too nice. I divulge too much. Yeah. Talking to my dog, guys. Yeah. People are going to make videos about that, hate on me. Yeah. They are. What do you think about that? Huh? You want to go to sleep on that too? Yeah.
I really wish somebody else would adopt me.
Anyway, hope y'all enjoyed that.
Just
I hope no one's hating on me, guys. Like, all I can do is,
justice for Pixie.
is say my experience and how it happened. In my experience. Those videos are not my relationship with her.
No, they're Nicholas's.
And that was not my relationship. I had my own relationship with her. Had my own marriage with her. We had our own thing. What are you talking about? Well, I mean, what are you talking about? I don't care to know the truth. Okay. Like, about what? Are y'all trying to say that I didn't know she committed murder? She did. She literally admitted to it. Like, what are y'all trying to prove?
And that is kind of what gets me, is like Bree and all these other people that defend Gypsy, like they always want to make excuses for her. She did it. Like, we don't know how much she did, but she's already admitted to planning this. There's plenty of interviews out there where it's like, did you ask him to unalive your mother? I did. Oh, absolutely. And you guys are doing a great job over there. I haven't finished the last video, but I'm going to hopefully finish it tonight. I love that all of this is coming out. I think people should know this about her. And I think that she got with Ryan because he is very naive. Nicholas was vulnerable due to him being autistic, due to his mental capacity. He was already vulnerable. He naive, easily influenced, clearly. And I think Ryan was, not on the same scale as Nicholas, but he was naive. And so, yeah, I think she knew very quickly that she could probably have Ryan wrapped around her finger. And she did, and she still does. Yeah, she was even asked, like, how did he get the schneif? And she was like, I got it. And I sent it to him. It's like, she's admitted all these things. Like, I guess I don't understand why they defend her. I really don't get it. Like, I don't know. I personally also think that, my opinion, and this is my opinion, just based off what I've heard and things that, looking at the pictures and just watching other podcasts and things like that, I think Dee Dee was dead when Nicholas got there. That is my opinion. I think she was already gone.
That's what I want to know. What are y'all trying to prove? That's what I want to know. What are y'all trying to prove? That she committed a crime? Well, that's obvious. It's obvious. Like, it's obvious. She admitted to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's obvious. But I don't know the girl in these videos that y'all see today. I didn't meet her. And if y'all don't understand that, then fine. So, I'm just saying. Thank you, Is She So Sweet? Thank you, Luda Mathers. Luda Mathers, like Eminem, Marshall Mathers. Like it. Favorite Michael Jackson song? PYT. There you go. And y'all can say I was played by her and all that. Well,
you were, in my opinion.
What we shared was real. What we had was real. It got destroyed. It was ruined. But she wanted Ken more, so she destroyed it. And I get it. Is what it is what it. Like, what else can I say to that?
And that's not a theory that is out there. That's my theory. That's my theory. And I think she did it probably right before Nicholas got there. I think, you know, in their communication, she knew around about what time he would get there. I think her mom took Ambien to go to sleep. They had Ambien. I think she potentially may have put Ambien into her drink or food or something to where she was knocked out. And I think around the time that she knew Nicholas would be arriving, she did it, turned the lights off, went and cleaned the knife up, set it outside, and had Nicholas come in behind her because Nicholas has always maintained that he stabbed Dee Dee 4 times. 4 times. 4 times. The autopsy showed that the stabbing was caused by left-handed, aka Nick, but also some wounds were inflicted by a right hand. So yeah, that's just my theory. She had her knuckles were really bruised. Like when she was arrested, when they were arrested, her knuckles were still bruised. How many days was it later that they were arrested and her knuckles were bruised? So that's just my opinion. That's just my 2 cents. And Nicholas has always maintained he stabbed her 4 times. He was always from the beginning when they were arrested, brought in, he immediately just diarrhea of the mouth of everything that had happened, what he'd done, why he did it. The only thing he said was when they're like, do you know about how many times you stabbed her? 4 times. He even talked about how deep it was. You know, like some were deeper than the other stab wounds. He probably around about right here is where I stabbed her. I think right here is where So why this man that has literally given all the info, and they even asked, like, do you think it's possible you stabbed her more than that? And he was like, no, 4 times. 4 times. So that's my opinion. That's my 2 cents.
She destroyed what we had for him. She did. And she told, like, the Kalisha girl, like, they said you were abused. Of course she said that when she left. She was justifying her leaving me to them. She had to say that stuff. She couldn't just say, Ryan's a great guy, so I left him.
So she lied.
I'm
That's
just
my
saying.
whole point with Ryan. I'm like, what did she do when she left you? To the whole world, she wanted to paint you out as reminding her of her mom. Oh, he snored. He was a hoarder. Like his kitchen, his this. Like, oh, he was a hoarder. I couldn't take it. He was controlling. He was abusive. Like she's selling these stories to TMZ to make you out to be this horrible guy. Later saying, you know, Ryan never deserved it. He's actually a great guy. But what did she do when she left you? Knowing she was the one leaving you for somebody else. She wanted to make sure she didn't look bad. She wanted to make sure you looked like the bad one. So she lied and accused you of being abusive. That's a pretty strong accusation to make against somebody if it's not true. You don't go around calling people abusive or accuse people of graping you, which is something else she did when she was in prison. She accused another inmate of graping her, then later admitted it was consensual. Okay. She's the queen of false accusations. So my thing is like, just like when she wanted to get out of her relationship with Ryan, but she didn't want the public to think bad about her, she lied on him to make him look bad. Which in my opinion, is that what she did with Dee Dee? When she wanted to get out, so she planned this murder, did she tell all these lies on her mom to make her mom look like the bad guy?
Think about it. She couldn't say, no, Ryan never hurt me. Ryan never did this. Ryan let me do what I want. But I still left him.
This color does not get you in the holiday spirit. What will?
So let me set the scene. You're lounging on the couch.
I mean, that's just saying, like, she had to justify it to her people. And whatever, she did it. She freaking did it, though. And please know that I know that she did that shit to me. Nobody deserves to be treated like I was treated in the end. Like, I get that. I understand. But, you know, anytime I ever mention the crime or anything, people come at me and say I'm blind. And no, I'm not.
Right. Apparently not.
And I love people say, oh, somebody just said I was a rebound. No, I wasn't. I didn't date her till like a year.
She said that. So Gypsy said that she heard her mom yelling for her. So she like crouched down and put her hands over her ears. And then when it was all done, and listen, as somebody, I do not claim to be an expert. I'm not an expert, but I have a certification in psychology and body language. I've taken several other classes, and while I'm behind in my work and I haven't taken any of my courses in a minute, I am taking a much broader course in body language. I watched a clip from her 60 Minutes video that was very telling. And I want to do a video on it to explain it, but as she's telling the interviewer like what took place that night, right? She talks about, letting Nicholas in and her going to the bathroom and shutting the door and him doing that to her mom and her crouching down and putting her hands over her ears and her listening to her breath and knowing, like she said, yeah, there were times like I wanted to get up and stop it, but I also had already envisioned what my life would be like once she was out of the picture. They talk about like the act of it actually happening, what Gypsy was doing, what she was thinking, right? Then the lady asked, well, what happened next when it was done? She said, Nicholas knocked on my door. That's how I knew it was done. He came in, cleaned up, and like she paused and the lady was like, and then you guys had sex, right? And she was like, we did. She was like, well, what else happened after that? She was like, I just remember everything that happened after that was very traumatic. Everything that happened after your mom's death, after your mom was unalive, was very traumatic. I'm not saying it verbatim. I feel like I'm kind of missing getting it a little bit wrong, but it was very telling that she said everything that happened after Nicholas came in the bathroom was very traumatic. So still in the night that her mom was unalive, she is thinking about she's still trying to portray herself as the victim, because Nicholas allegedly, they had sex, and in her mind, it was a great. Oh, yeah, it was so traumatic because me and my boyfriend, who I ran away with, we had sex after he unalived my mom. That was traumatic. Not the fact that he just offed my mom and he was in there stabbing her. I was like, what? I was like, wait a minute. The fact that she said everything that happened after that was very traumatic is so telling for someone that has studied body language, that has studied psychology. You pay attention to words. You pay attention to how people frame things. Okay. That made my ears perk up and I was like, wow. So she doesn't view sitting there listening to Nicholas stab her mom and her mom allegedly yelling gypsy, gypsy, gypsy. That's not traumatic, right?
Like 2 years after Ken, somebody else was the rebound. I'm not going to say his name, but he was a rebound too. So, honeybee, I have, sweetie. I have. I'm talking to somebody. I've quit her. I'm not defensive. I can rest easy knowing that my intentions were pure. So, I'm just talking to y'all in the chat as I see it. So, time for a new hairstyle. I'm going to wearing a cap. I'm wearing a cap. Okay. I'm going to get a haircut on Friday. Anyway. Because he probably does, Jenna. All right, Mia Polk. Okay. Probably not. My intentions were pure. Hers were probably not. Probably true. I mean, thank you, Terry Ann. Any plans for Christmas, Anthony? I am going to my mother's. All right, guys. I haven't done this in a while, but if you want me to acknowledge your name, send the gift. It can be a rose. It can be whatever. If you want me to message you, send one over 1,000 or a big one, then I will message you.
Introducing.
That's something else that he's doing now, which, you know what? He's got to hustle. He lost a job. So whatever. I'm not going to, whatever. If people want to send that man money to get him to say their name.
Only prescription hair regrowth.
Whatever. All right. So like I said, something else that happened before that was so interesting, and I wish I would have gotten it, was before Perez went live with Ryan, he had Aubrey on. Aubrey has went on Into the Weeds podcast, right? And Aubrey was talking to Perez, trying to give him information into, about everything. And then Perez really wanted like a Gypsy supporter to come on. to explain to him, like, why do you support Gypsy? So Bree was able to come in. So Bree comes up, and oh my goodness, I wish I had it. But Bree literally just starts saying all these things like, because Perez is like, give me examples of like how she was abused. Like, tell me how she was abused. And one thing that Bree says is the feeding tube, that there was no test done. Bree literally is like, you're supposed to have this specific test done. They didn't do that. They literally just took her mom telling them, and they did the feeding tube. And Perez is like, oh wow, yeah, that seems like that would be abuse. That would be a form of abuse. And Perez had no idea that Gypsy had the feeding tube. Then somebody in the chat like brings up, or Perez may have brought up the fact that Gypsy shot her mom with a BB/pellet gun. He asked her about that. And she's like, oh my God, it was one time, one pellet hit her. It wasn't even that big of a deal. Like, oh my God. So then Aubrey comes up and debunks both of those claims that Bree made. I think there were more. I think there was a couple of other things that she said that Aubrey debunked. I did not get all of Aubrey's time up there with Perez, but I did get one little clip where she's debunking the pellet gun situation, that she hit her one time. So here's a clip of that.
Somebody told me, apparently she made false.
This is who she is, Audacious Aubrey on YouTube. So Audacious Aubrey on YouTube covers this case. Into the Weeds podcast, 1980 Millennial. Who else? 1980 Millennial commentates. Can you guys give me the names of other people that like have the paperwork that show it? Anybody that they can go and get more information on, just drop their names in the comments.
False allegations about some other inmate. Is that accurate?
Yes, it is. That's in prison emails too. She said that the girl sexually assaulted her, and whenever she realized it.
Is it Aubrey or Audrey? Sorry. I thought it was Aubrey, but Becca Scoops is a good one. Sorry, it's Audrey. Sorry, guys. No, it says here. Wait, no, that's because I put that there. Never mind. I'm like, up there it says Aubrey debunks Bree, but yeah, I put that. So Becca Scoops is a good one. Yes, 1980 Millennial was in the chat.
Yeah. Apparently she made false allegations about some other inmate. Is that accurate?
Yes, it is. That's in prison emails too. She said that the girl sexually assaulted her, and whenever she realized it was holding up the girl's release, she went and told them the truth, that it was a consensual situation between them.
What?
Did she get any additional time for doing that?
No, most of the time you don't, unless you broke a legit like real world law. Thank you.
Interesting. All right, let me ask you any of my questions then that I didn't.
I did have another photo. I got to find it though.
A photo of what?
More evidence.
Oh, show me. I love it.
Let me pull it up. So this has Ashley Baby's face on it, but let me flip my camera. So Bree said that Gypsy only shot her mom one time. This is Dee Dee's emergency room record for it. And you can see all the little spots on there where they retrieve.
I apologize. I'm so sorry, Audrey. Her name is Audrey, you guys. And I've called her Aubrey probably a million times. I do apologize. And welcome.
Pellets from Dee Dee's body.
Wow.
And that was in June of 2011.
So how many were there?
And like I said, Ashley Baby's the one who got it. She's so beautiful. I love her. So shout out to her. But okay, she said bring proof. So I requested up so that I could show you the proof because I'm all about facts.
Listen, this is why I love hearing both sides, because it's important to see things, not just hear them, but also to hear both sides. Wow.
You're mind blown.
Yeah, I'm still trying to process everything. It's pretty wild.
Also, her mother was ill whenever she took her life. She was basically bedridden with diabetes. And Supposedly she has Parkinson's, and that's per Gypsy's words that she had it in a message she sent one of the neighbors. And a lot of people say it's not true because it's not on the autopsy. However, I went through all the photos, and you know how medicines, like the first, like it has a code on it. So it's the National Drug Code. And you can look it up, and ropinirole is one of the medicines that Dee Dee was on. And ropinirole is only given for two things: restless leg syndrome and Parkinson's. So it's a whole, Perez.
I'm so like upset with myself that I did not get more of that, because this morning when I was going through everything that I had this brilliant idea, but I didn't have Bree's part where Bree went up, and I didn't have the rest of Audrey's. And then I was like, no. So I'm like, when I have time, I'm gonna have to go try to find what Bree said and then the rest of Audrey's, because I have an idea of, anyways. It was so, I was so happy. I was like, yes, 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 yes. Because one thing that Bree says is we're just sheep, we're just followers. We just listen to what people say. We don't, we don't even ask for evidence. We don't even see the evidence. But I'm like, Bree, where are you putting out the evidence? Where are you? And any time I've ever seen Bree put out evidence, it did not make any sense. Or I've never seen her put out evidence. She's said it, but she hasn't proven it with anything. Yes, if any of you guys are ever like see Perez live and anybody's up on panel showing evidence, if you would like to record it and send it to me, I will dance at your wedding. For those on TikTok Live, that's why I don't like it. I know. There are over 11,000 document text messages and medical and over 300 videos. That is insane. And something else that is telling for me, in my opinion, is the fact that like Gypsy gets her people to like report content creators that cover Gypsy in the light that I'm covering her, to try to bring awareness and truth and really try to put the truth out there. That's not like, oh, Gypsy was innocent, Gypsy was the victim. If you're not doing that, they try to report you. I was on TikTok Live the other night. They reported me twice. Also Into the Weeds. They reported Into the Weeds for like showing underage content or something like that when they were not at all. So they also went after Ray Clark. She put up a clip and they flagged it, but I think Ray appealed it and got it put back up. But they will go after people to have their pages taken down, which in my opinion, I'm like, whoa. These people are showing evidence. Why are you wanting to take them down if the evidence is allegedly going to prove that Gypsy was the victim? So you guys, Perez had a medical procedure today. He said he wasn't for sure if he was going to be able to go back live tonight. I have Christmas at my sister's tonight, so if they do go live, I probably won't get it. But you guys go, Audacious Audrey, 1980 millennial commentates, Into the Weeds podcast, Becca Scoops. Those are 4 people I know that talk about this, and they come with the evidence. They show the medical records. They they put it all out there. This is not just like them getting on panel saying, oh, this is what I heard, or this is what I think, this is my opinion. Like they actually put it out there. So you guys go check them out, watch the content they have up. Because I too, like when Gypsy got out of prison, I was one of those people that I was like, oh my God, this poor girl, she took a life, but she felt like she didn't have any other option. She wanted to live her life and her mom would not allow it. Then I started watching Becca Scoops, and then I was like, wait a minute. Why are the documents that we're seeing, the records, not matching what we were told? Like Gypsy saying she's been under anesthesia over 100 times. Over 100 times? Girl, for what? Can you tell us for what? Over 30 procedures? There's no records of over 100 times under anesthesia. There's no records of over 30 procedures. And from my understanding, and you guys in the chat that know more about this case can correct me if I'm wrong, I think I saw this from Into the Weeds podcast, them saying Once she was diagnosed, 2011, once she was diagnosed with the microdeletion, there wasn't any surgeries after that. That basically what happened was she had microdeletion. It causes all of these symptoms that, you know, you have all these symptoms of the microdeletion. Her mom would take her to the doctor and say, this is what's happening, this is what's happening. And they would just treat that specific thing. They did not link it to anything more serious or a chromosomal disorder. They just treated it. So that's why, you know, there were surgeries. There was not, and after she was diagnosed, there were no surgeries after that. Okay, I'd have to double check, but I don't recall any surgeries after. Bree needs to show it. She supposedly has all of Gypsy's medical records. Even her regular appointments stopped. Bree told Perez Into the Weeds wouldn't release Nick's videos. Come to find out, she had them on her. I've seen them over there, yeah. I know they also said, Bree also said, which was really funny, she said that Into the Weeds was trying to gatekeep these videos, that if other creators put them out, that they were flagging them and reporting them. And I even commented and said, that's not the truth as far as I know, because I've posted the videos, not all of them, of course. At no point have I ever played all the videos. I've always played just a couple, commentated, and then told people there's more. So go watch and always link the channel. That way people will see like a few videos and then they're like, oh, I'm going to go see the rest. And they'll go to that channel. I've seen other people post clips, and I haven't heard or seen that Into the Weeds has reported anybody. However, Into the Weeds would have a right, in my opinion, to report any creator that showed every one of the videos and did not give them credit and just if they just went to her page, screen recorded, put the videos up there with no commentary, every video, then I would understand, like, dang, they're not even providing commentary. They're just really just taking it off their page and reposting it. I've never reported anyone. Okay. Yeah, Bree literally said that. She was like, they're trying to gatekeep the videos. They're not even letting anybody else post them. They're reporting people, which is ironic because who's really reporting people here? They are. They're reporting people. They're flagging people. And when Bree was live the other night, I went live on TikTok and I started screen sharing and I was watching the live. And it was so crazy, you guys, because you want to know what I saw when I first got on the live? Bree and her buddies were watching Into the Weeds. They were watching and reacting to Into the Weeds. But then they reported me for watching them. Whatever, okay. The microdeletion does affect the enamel development on her teeth in combination with a poor oral hygiene and drinking a baby bottle into adulthood bottle rot. Yeah, that was another question that she was asked in 60 Minutes is, you know, what happened to your teeth? Like, why were your teeth pulled? What dentist is going to pull perfectly healthy teeth? Did I say teeth? Teeth. I think I said teeth. What dentist is going to pull perfectly healthy teeth, right? Have Into the Weeds here. My mom won't even report people who sleep while they play her whole life. Oh, wow. See, I'm kind of like that too. Like, I'm not going to report anybody, even if I feel like, so that's it. Isn't it just so awesome when people lie on you for no reason? So she said, she was asked on 60 Minutes, you know, why were your teeth pulled? What happened to your teeth? And she's like, you know, I really don't know. Like, that's a mystery. That's a mystery. My mom went to the dentist, told the dentist that my teeth were crumbling. If any of us take our child to the dentist and say their teeth are crumbling, the dentist is going to put us in their chair and look in our mouth. If our teeth are not crumbling, the dentist will then look at our mom and be like, what are you talking about? Her teeth look fine. What tooth is crumbling? Where? Can you show me what you're talking about? Because her teeth look okay to me. She literally said, my mom took me to the dentist, told the dentist that my teeth were crumbling. They then pulled them out. But they weren't crumbling. So that means the dentist probably would not pull them out. So yeah, her lies don't even make sense. Like they legitimately do not even make sense. I'm a nurse. I know about medical records and no, they're not for everyone. It's protected by HIPAA. Only Gypsy can share them. Well, Gypsy has shared them. She like gave them to Fancy. And that's how they got out, I think, because she like put them out there. Then it's not going to pull teeth. Not just going to pull teeth. They would have also x-rayed the teeth. Yeah, and that's the thing is I'm not saying they were fine. They weren't fine for a dentist to pull them. So what happened to them? Gypsy tells maybe you say you drank out of a baby bottle until you left. Did that play into it? You know, if you were taking medication for some of these illnesses that you did or didn't have, did that play into it? She talked about eating chocolate, liking Cokes. Like, did that play into it? No. Nope. That's another question is why don't you sue the doctors for malpractice? This seems like a very open and shut case if what you're saying is true. That your mom could go to a doctor and tell a doctor, my daughter needs a feeding tube, and they would say, okay, and insert a feeding tube. That seems like a pretty open and shut, I don't know, in my opinion, seems like a pretty open and shut case. You know what I'm saying? Don't run no tests, just listen to the mom. So they did it. Like, I think that would be a pretty simple case for malpractice, but no, Gypsy has never sued any doctor for malpractice. She never brushed her teeth and has a high palate. I have a friend who's gotten, where they go, dental issues from years of being on different medications as a child, but who knows? How do you know he's not seeing a therapist? Just because he doesn't talk about it doesn't mean he's not going. Miss Bug, I think you responded to somebody. I'm not sure who. Oh, I'm sorry, Shannon. None of the medications Gypsy took affected dental health. She was on asthma medication, anti-seizure. Did she have a pump? Did she take an asthma inhaler? Does anybody know if she used a pump? Because a pump, like my asthma pump, there's one that I use. I think it's the Cymbalta one that you're supposed to brush your teeth after. Because it's kind of thick and it will get on your teeth. And my doctor told me, brush your teeth after you use this one. They try, no lawyers would take the case, especially with Medicaid. They are not paying for unnecessary surgeries. Got you. Anyways, you guys, until you're discharged from a hospital, you cannot even get your own complete medical records. I'm just saying her going to them to someone is not legal under HIPAA. Does she have implants or dentures? I think, I'm not going to even try to answer that because I really don't know. But you guys, can anybody let me know if Into the Weeds is going to be going live this weekend? I think they are. I think I heard, because I watched some of their video this morning, some of their live this morning. I did not get to finish it, but I think they said they were going to be going live tomorrow. Saturday. Anybody know what time? And I'll show you guys really quickly their page. I think it's linked in the top of my description box. If not, I can put it there. Also, Audacious Audrey, Into the Weeds podcast, Becca Scoops. Those are Saturday, 5 p.m. Central. I might get that. I might get to watch that one. I might get to be there for that one live. Let me see. Okay, here's their page right here. All right, you guys. So they're going to be live. I think is it scheduled? It's not scheduled yet, so I don't see it scheduled. Tomorrow, 5 p.m. Is tomorrow Saturday? Yeah, tomorrow Saturday. Okay, so Nick's jail calls, Gypsy's part Nick. So they got all the videos there, okay? So go check them out if you haven't yet, and I will see you guys later. It's not linked in the description box. Okay, you guys give me like 10 minutes. I'll get their pages linked in the description box. HIPAA trumps everything except a court order. I'm not sure. Julie, you might be talking to somebody else. I'm not sure because I'm confused by your comments, but you may be talking to somebody else. We're going to be back. I'm going to at least do one more live about teen mom, Kel Lowry, her baby daddy, Chris Lopez, shaving their son's head without discussing it with Kel and also allegedly against the boy's will. Like he did not want his haircut. And you guys remember, this is the little boy with really long hair, okay? All right, you guys. So make sure you go follow everyone else so you guys can keep up with the latest Gypsy news. I'll continue to keep up with it as well. Give this video a thumbs up. Come back and hype me up if you guys remember to. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.